As the glitter settles and the ballroom lights burn brighter than ever, Strictly Come Dancing reaches its grand finale, a culmination of months of sweat. Self-discovery, transformation and unapologetic spectacle. This year's final promises not just exceptional dancing, but real drama, emotional goodbyes, and the sense that an era is drawing to a close. Judge Anton Du Beke, a cornerstone of the show and one of its most eloquent champions. Believes the standard of the finalists has rarely been higher. With 3 couples left standing and one final night to define their journeys, the stakes could not be greater. In time-honored Strictly tradition, each finalist will perform 3 dances, a show dance. Designed to capture their personality and strengths, a favorite dance, chosen by the couple themselves from earlier in the competition. And a judge's choice, often a routine that once exposed their weaknesses and now offers a chance at redemption. It's a real test of everything they've learned, Anton says. Technique, confidence, musicality, emotional connection, it's all there. And every single one of them has absolutely earned their place in this final. George Clark and Alexis Warr. From nervous charm to quiet determination, one of the most compelling arcs of the season belongs to George Clark. Partnered with the elegant and intuitive Alexis Warr. From the outset, George charmed audiences with his warmth and humor, but behind the smiles, Anton sensed uncertainty. What I love most is the way he dances with Alexis. He's such a lovely boy, Anton says fondly. His partnering skills have been as good as anything we've seen. In the early weeks, George's approach raised questions. I'd look at him sometimes and think, are you actually taking this seriously? Anton admits. But he was. That was just his way of coping with nerves. What began as lighthearted fun slowly deepened into something more purposeful. Week by week, George began to inhabit the dances, not just perform them. His frame strengthened, his musical interpretation sharpened, and, perhaps most strikingly, his emotional openness flourished. He's grown emotionally, Anton says. Now he's someone who's going, actually, I really want to win this. For Anton, this transformation is what Strictly is truly about. You don't want to look back and say, I wish I'd done this differently. George won't have that regret. He's been a revelation, and I'm delighted for him. Carney and Carlos Gu. Discovering elegance beyond power. If George's journey has been about emotional growth, Carney's has been about stylistic discovery. Partnered with the ever-inventive Carlos Gu, Karen burst onto the competition with explosive energy, the kind of crash-bang-wallop dancing that the late Len Goodman famously adored. She started with that jive, Anton recalls, and developed along that line beautifully. High impact, huge energy, that was her natural world. But Strictly demands more than power. And for Karen, the slower, more lyrical dances proved the greater challenge. It demands range. When you're doing waltzes or foxtrots, Anton explains, the floor has to be filled with something other than energy. Control. Time. You need elegance. It's the other end of the scale, and just as difficult. What surprised Anton most was Karen's ability to rise to that challenge. I didn't realize she had that type of dance in her, he admits. And for her to achieve that has been an absolute revelation. Her story, Anton says, has been one of balance, learning when to explode and when to restrain, when to dominate the floor and when to let the music breathe. I've loved that part of her journey, he adds. It's been quietly extraordinary. Amber Davies and Nikita Kuzmin. Excellence under pressure for Amber Davies. Partnered with the charismatic Nikita Kuzmin, the pressure was immediate and intense. She joined the competition with barely a moment to spare, arriving on a Friday and performing live on Saturday. To think she came in with a day to spare, Anton marvels, and yet, she's been absolutely excellent. Amber arrived with a background in theater, but Anton is quick to dismiss any notion that this offered an easy advantage. Theatrical training is no use when you're trying to do foxtrots, quick steps, cha-chas and jives, he says. She had to relearn everything, just like everyone else. What set Amber apart was her consistency and fearlessness. From week 1, she performed at an extraordinarily high level, but it was her Charleston in the quarterfinals that left judges and audiences alike stunned. Truly, for him, Amber's place in the final feels inevitable. That performance was astonishing, Anton says. She's danced brilliantly all the way through. I'm absolutely delighted she's here. Why Strictly still matters as Anton prepares to celebrate his 60th birthday next year. He reflects not just on the finalists, but on why Strictly Come Dancing continues to captivate millions after so many seasons. My children are 8, and they love it, they love the music. It works because it has layers, he explains. Some love the couples, other people love the dancing. Some love agreeing with the judges, others love disagreeing with us. And then there's the production itself. It's the best of everything in television, Anton says. The greatest costume department, the greatest cameramen, the best band, the best makeup. Everyone working on Strictly is at the top of their game. Yet perhaps its most enduring strength is its inclusivity. This is a show that speaks to everyone, Anton says. Last year we had Chris McCausland, who is blind. We had Rose Ayling-Ellis, who is deaf. This year, Ellie Goldstein with Down syndrome. Everybody is part of this show. That's the joy. An emotional farewell. Tess and Claudia step away. This year's final carries additional weight. It marks the end of an era as presenters Tess Daly and Claudia Winkleman bow out after more than a decade hosting together. I think it's going to be a big deal, Anton says quietly. They'll be very emotional. He imagines the moment after the applause fades. On Sunday morning, when they wake up, they'll go, "Oh, that's it." There's going to be a big hole. It'll take time to process. Anton himself is not immune to the emotion, particularly as his name has been floated as a potential successor. Maybe it's my age. I can't help it, he admits. I'm still a bit stunned that they've decided to leave. As the final dance approaches, one thing is certain. Strictly Come Dancing is not just crowning a winner, it is celebrating growth. Inclusivity, excellence, and the power of shared experience. And when the last note fades, it won't just be the finalists who feel changed.